Good afternoon. Welcome to Real Mob Stories. This is your host, James Proctor. Hope everyone's doing well today. And we're going to answer a simple question. Do I even need to respond? Also, I have a story to share with you today about a Bonanno soldier that got convicted of extorting an alleged Colombo associate, and have a wiretap that I'm going to share with you, and we'll discuss this case. It's actually very interesting, and it's actually a case that's still going on today. So I think that the wiretap will discussion will be really interesting. So anyway, please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to Real Mob Stories with James Proctor, please consider doing so. Without further delay, on to our feature presentation. Do I even need to respond? I do want to explain a few things for our viewers, and I really want people to know how I do things over here. I'm not going to apologize for, the way I do my content. I have a formula that I use, and there's a reason I do things the way that I do. So, and I'm not going to talk about any other content creators in this segment. That's not what this is for. This is me talking to you. And so, in my opinion, we're building something that I consider special. I came into this thing with Lee Cole about a year and a half ago, and then I bought this channel 8 months ago. And for the most part, everyone's been kind and fair to me. And having a successful YouTube channel is not easy. And you can compare this channel to other channels on YouTube, and we are pretty small if you look at all of YouTube. But we have almost 34,000 subscribers. And when I started with Lee, we were a little over 7,000. And when I bought the channel 8 months ago, I think we had just hit 19,000. So when you compare non-mob guys running a YouTube channel talking about mob content, this channel is doing pretty good. I have people criticize me, and some people cross the line, but for the most part, people have been good to me. I don't delete comments, and I'm a gentleman to everyone. You'll never hear me cursing out my subscribers or complain about my subscribers. I value everybody that watches, even if they're not a subscriber. And I do want your viewership. I want this channel to grow and continue to get better over time. And I can't do it by myself. Without you, there's no channel. And I appreciate you guys so much. And I welcome everybody here with open arms. I'm not arrogant to thinking I don't need you. I'm not better than anybody else. I'm not some tough guy. I'm just in myself, and I think we can have interesting conversations about the mob. When it comes to content, my passion's history. That's what I love to do. And the shorts I do are about the history of the mob, 60 seconds at a time. I'm incorporating mob history as well into these shows. And with that said, I know my viewers, I know who subscribes to the channel. And, people might say I'm selling out or whatever, but I'm always going to appeal to the base audience. It'd be stupid of me to alienate half my audience by, for example, going after Joey Merlino. I inherited this channel, and there was already a base. And although I do things differently than Lee, at the same time, I realize who this core audience is, and I do make changes, but I'm trying to incorporate them slowly over time. And for me, for any other channel, for the most part, entertainment is the number one thing. And personally, I don't find myself entertaining, but I can speak logically about different subjects on the mob. And one of the things that people might criticize how, I mispronounced a word, or I, got a date wrong or whatever. But, always little minor nitpicking things. But, no one can question, the level of authenticity to my content and what research I do and what I put out there. And I'm proud of that research. I'm proud of my friend Tony that helps out. What we're putting out is stuff that a lot of people have not seen before. I know that we've done hundreds of shorts over mob guys that has never been done before on YouTube, and that's what I'm proud of. And I just want to continue to do that, and even expand further when it comes to the history. But as much as I love doing this deep dive of history, I also know that's a kind of a smaller percentage of the overall viewership. I know that people are interested in the here and now. They want to know what's going on today. And the truth is some of it is drama. I know that. And the reality is that as much as people say, oh, they don't like drama or whatever, any show that has elements of drama in it tend to do the best. It's something I don't necessarily like, but it's the reality. So I'm not here to politic or anything like that. I do have a voice, but I'm not trying to convince anybody to change their mind on anything. So if you think John Gotti's a rat, that's your choice. If you don't like rats, that's your choice. And when I look at the viewership of this channel, I see four general categories of viewers. And this is my opinion. You have those that love Joey Merlino. That's a big segment. Then you have those that like the Gottis. They love the Gottis. And then you kind of have this third category that's those that follow Mikey Scars, and they typically don't like Gravano. And then a smaller percentage are those that are into the history. And we have some really knowledgeable viewers on here, and I love going back and forth on different subjects. It's pretty cool. And obviously people can be in multiple categories, but what I'm trying to say is I know my audience, and I have to have this channel to encapsulate that what my audience wants, what you want. So anyway, regarding the Gottis, I'm not going to apologize. I'm friends with Angel Gotti. She's been good to me, and I like her personally. I'm not a fanboy of any mobster, but I'm friends with Angel. If you want to hear me criticize John Gotti Jr. and call him a rat, that's not going to happen here. Yes, I have personal bias. It's also, though, that I have respect, and I put my friendship with Angel above doing a show like that about Junior. No one tells me what shows to do. I make those choices, and that's my choice, that I'm not going to do a show about, oh, John Gotti Jr.'s a rat. In fact, what is there new to talk about on it? It's been talked about so many different times, and I actually did a show on it previously, so I really don't want to rehash or address that. And as far as Angel dictating content, she never dictates anything. There's a lot of shows that she hasn't liked that I've done. Same with Joy Faraci. What happened to her brother's horrible. You never get over losing your brother, and that's just the reality of it. And I'm always going to keep Alan Kaiser's name out there. I don't get any personal benefit from that. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing about it, but I am going to keep it out there. I think it's important. I'm friends with Joy. I like her and her family, and I respect them, and they're good to me. And I am going to continue to put the word out there about what happened to Alan Kaiser. And when it comes to innocent victims being taken from us, it's all bad. I've spoken about so many of them, including, Nicholas Guido, who was killed as a result of Casso's dirty detectives taking out the wrong guy. I've talked about Mary Berry and the horrible murder that took place at the hands of Greg Scarpa. Also, Patricia Capozzalo, who was wounded by Michael Spinelli. Also, John Favara, who was killed possibly by Charles Corneglia. The thing is that I talk about all those scumbags like Casso, Scarpo, DeMeo, Gravano, the two cops, and how about Louis Melito's wife being abused by Sammy on here? So I give my opinion on these long format shows because it's really about entertainment. And then I use the shorts, I also have segments that cover the history. So, I try to mix it up on here, not just go over one thing, and hopefully bring subjects that, people are interested in, so they'll watch and talk about it. And then there's certain things I'm not going to do. It's not that I don't talk to informants or I don't have informants on the show. It's not that. It's that I'm not going to put people on the show who are liars. If somebody's a fraud or is a known liar that won't answer the truth to my questions, I'm just not going to disrespect my audience by having them on. I've never said that I would never have an informant on. I just said I wouldn't have assholes on or liars. If I can bring in somebody that's got a great story, yeah, I'm going to let them on. And also, don't blame me for what my guests say. I allow my guests to give their opinions, and just because they have an opinion doesn't mean I share that same opinion. Sometimes I get blamed for what other people say and do. So I just want everybody to know, in conclusion on this, that you're all welcome here. I'm a gentleman. I'm always going to show you respect, and I value all of you, and we're going to continue to build this channel the right way. So now let's shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about this interesting case about John Regano and Vincent Martino. And I actually have a tape to play, and we're going to talk about it. But I want to give you a little context on who these folks are in the case. So the guy, John Regano, is a Bonanno soldier. So he's been around for over 20 years, and no one knew. He's also been he's more of a loan shark. He's apparently got a lot of money and everything, and then you have a victim in this case. So you have the Bonanno soldier, John Regano. And so he had loaned out money to this Colombo associate, Vincent Martino. And it was like $150,000 loan. He had given Martino the money in February of 2021. Martino had actually paid the first few months, but then in September 2021, he stopped paying. And if you remember, this was during the time of COVID. And so this guy Martino owns like a place called A&G Auto Dissemblers. So it's in Ridgewood. So I believe it's used parts, it's used auto parts, that type of thing. And his company had, went through a downturn. My understanding was that he had about 3 or 4 other guys that he was getting money from. And so over a period of 5 years, he had borrowed like $450,000. But until this point in 2021, he had never, had problems paying it back. And so what ended up happening was that this guy Regano wanted his money back, and so last year, July of last year, what ended up happening is that Regano was caught on tape. So Vincent Martino started working with the feds, and they worked it out where they would record what Regano was saying, because he was threatening to do bodily harm and all of that, because he hadn't paid back everything. And in fact, it gets so bad that when this wiretap, what we're going to hear, he actually made Martino strip down to his underwear. And he was because Regano was concerned that the guy was, may had a wire on, and he actually did, but somehow it didn't get found. So what ended up happening was that it's a little bit of what I call Martino ended up, in my opinion, kind of breaking the law a little bit. So he basically was trying to, get Regano to threaten him. So, so Martino started saying things like, saying, "Oh, calling Regano a rat," and all that stuff, knew that would get him steered up, and so he wanted to get him all riled up so that he could be able to get Regano on tape threatening him, and that's what ended up happening. So, so this happened in 2023. Then the case went to trial this month, and then on October 11th, Regano was found guilty of extortion. And so there were other more serious charges. There was a charge of conspiracy he was found not guilty of that. And then, there were a couple of other counts that were involving violence that he was found not guilty of. So he ended up being found guilty of extortion, and he could actually be facing up to 20 years for this conviction, but most likely it's not going to be anywhere around 20 years. And so the feds thought that, they would get him for conspiracy and all that, but, it's just this case of the extortion. And Regano, because he was actually already, I believe he was on probation or whatever at the time, or supervised release. And so when it was found out about this, him making these threats on tape, Regano making these threats, Regano was given a 57-month sentence, basically a conviction for that same loan. And so, so that was that case. And then what happened this month was more on the conspiracy and the extortion. So, there were other charges that were new charges. So anyway, I am going to play this tape, Wiretap, and love to get your thoughts on it.
Hey!
Oh,
Come here.
come on.
What's going on?
I gotta end this thing. Fucking with the money thing.
What do you mean end?
Because you fucking snitched on me, bro.
Snitch on you?
Yeah.
What are you talking
You
about?
gave me up on the weekends, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you losing your fucking mind?
Bro,
Are you trying to get stupid on me, bro? Is that what you're trying to do?
No.
Then go ahead. Do what you gotta
I'm
do.
not getting stupid on you.
How the fuck are you gonna tell me that I snitched on you on the weekends? What are you losing your fucking mind? I'm going to jail for 57 months.
Bro, that's all mine.
Well, you're...
All right. So what's happening here is just so that there's not any confusion, it's actually the guy Martino is threatening and accusing the guy Regano of being a rat, and Regano's the one saying, what's wrong with you? Why are you saying that? So it's obvious that Martino is trying to coerce Regano to threaten him. So I just wanted to explain that so you knew who was talking to who.
What?
I'm going the same thing.
How are you going the same thing? I don't
Because
understand.
my weekends is stuck.
Stuck from what? I got nothing to do with that.
Because yours got dropped.
So that's because there was nothing there for me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So what they say? That I told on you? Is that what they're telling you? The fuck out of here. Are you losing your mind, bro? Are you losing your mind?
I don't know, John.
Listen,
Maybe.
listen to me. Listen to me. I don't want to get retarded because I'm going to jail. You don't really know me. I don't want to be tough. I'm not trying to be tough.
I heard that they
didn't do anything. I pleaded
I was a
guilty.
nobody. I was a nobody.
Listen to me, buddy. Listen to me. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to just tell you one thing. You do whatever you want. But I'm going to be honest with you. When I get out, you put a fucking wire on me, I'm going to come out and I'm going to show you what kind of guy I am.
I don't wear wire. That's why I'm in
Well,
this
then take
situation.
off your fucking shit right now, my man. Take off your fucking pants right now. Let me see. I want to see. Okay, so I ain't got a wire on me either.
Oh, you didn't know I was coming here.
I didn't know. I didn't have to know if
my
I'm coming.
daughter's truck.
I didn't have to know if you're coming here.
Right,
I ain't got nothing to fucking tell you anything.
You think I
You
would
owe me my fucking money. Let's see how you're gonna do when I get out.
Okay.
You want to duck me right now?
I'm not
That's
ducking.
fine.
I'm here.
That's what I want to know.
I'm here.
So if I fucking slap the shit out of you, you're gonna tell on me?
No.
I'm trying to make this like a friendly thing.
That's what
I
I'm
said
trying to
you
do.
give me my fucking money, we'll call it even.
John, the reason.
There ain't no John nothing.
Okay, so what-
bring me some fucking proof that I told on you, motherfucker.
All right, we'll figure
what
it
are
out.
you losing your fucking mind?
No.
Figuring out what? Where you going?
No, forget
Bring
it.
it over here.
No, forget it,
You
John.
fucking scumbag.
Okay.
I'll see you when I get out.
Okay.
I'll see you when I get out.
All right.
Yeah, I know where you're at now.
Yeah, Regano was pretty aggravated, wasn't he? So, pretty wild. And so, yeah, like I said, this Martino guy was basically coercing him, wanting to get him to, talk this way and get it on tape. But yeah, pretty wild situation. I'm not sure how long he'll be in prison. I didn't really know much about the guy. I knew that he had a couple of cases. I heard that, he's definitely a tough guy. He's in his 60s. He's been with the Bonannos for, over 20 years. And so, pretty interesting. So if you want to hear the wiretaps without interruption, I'm actually publishing 3 shorts today that's got, the entirety of this wiretap. So, look forward to that. And anyway, that's all I have for you today. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I said, please hit the like button, consider subscribing to the show. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and God bless you always.